So you have to pay money to make a guild or something? Nice username change. It's just different on Xbox and on Epic. What? Oh, it fits. Oh. What? What do you mean name is invalid? The nameplate's already in use? How is there already the after party? Did somebody already make it? How do you know what's available and what's not? How is the guild nameplate already in use? How is Cheat Show already in use? We're going to be here all day. This is the problem with making it free in a free game. I know that's in use. Nameplate is boys? You'd have to do it in the beta. Apparently it's impossible now. No gamers? Too long. What's Monster Hunter? I think zero party actually works. No gamers? Like that? If that works. Actually, I like that. Uninvited party. No gamers? Well, what if we can get another, like, after party thing here? There has to be a way to get it. The real after party? No gamers. That works. That was PAX East 2019. So I'm working on a thing.
Hey, it's you.
I want to try it out. This thing? I need lumbering flame soul shards. Could have been PAX after party. I'm pretty happy with it.
We'll talk again.
No gamers is actually kind of amazing as a nameplate. All right, I don't know if anybody is like at or around level 20 and wants to do the Blaze Works. I'm gonna do that for a little while.
You want to talk rare? Check this out.
Send me a friend request.
Yeah.
Which one is you? I don't know. Everybody's saying Blaze Works was hard. I didn't think it was that bad. I was even running like part break. This does have crossplay and cross save. I mean, the only issue with it is, like, you know, if you're playing with a Switch person, they may or may not be there. I think I get a phase tank build. Like I said, I switched it up a little bit. I've got two pieces that are, like, decidedly not phase tanky. Get rid of Bladestorm base part damage is useless. Not true. If I kill the thing too quickly, then I don't break all of its parts.
Yes.
At least that's how I feel about it.
You want this, yes.
I actually regret making these.
Take it.
I'm making a different build now. Where's the health one?
Do stop by the tower. Have you the time? I have work for you.
That being said, maybe I'll put more tanky things on anyways. It's because I kept trying to kill the one heroic flame guy in the other area. How much am I at? 4? How's that not 6? What? Why do I feel so dumb? +2, +2, +2. Am I high? Oh, that's Aegis. Never mind. Very dumb. Oh, God. Whoa. Thanks, Dauntless. I mean, imagine if it just like full on doxed you, just showed like everything. Here's your IP address. Here are all your passwords. I did not leak Sunbreak Early Access. It's not me. Promise you. Yeah, I don't know what weapon I want to go for next. I want to get chain blades up to level 3. Blazeworks, because there's a thing there that I kind of need to farm a little bit. And then after chain blades level 3, I'm not sure. Yeah, like ideally I would farm Firebrand Chirag, but I think Sporestruck Chirag is just as good. Just waiting for Nefudis. Nefudis, should I keep waiting for you? Is that seriously your epic? Your epic name is gonna be that everywhere. You realize that it's not just this game; it's any other game you play. Good? Okay. All right, good. I guess we almost got all the Aether Sprouts. Are these always in the same spots? They move around a little bit. I've almost got all of them. I've got 9 out of 10 right now. And now I'm kind of like, I'm very like emotionally committed towards finding the last one. If you see it, if you see something, say something, okay? Did you really see it? Don't just don't say it. You saw it? Where was it? This smithy? Oh, is that it? Oh, there it is. Okay. So what does that even do for me? I feel like it didn't even do anything. $50 hunt pass XP? It's kind of lame. It says you're online. Oh, your thing just died. Can you join us later? Like if we're in here? I mean, it's a thing to do while you're waiting for somebody to get on, I guess. D-word again? Just trying to finish up my my battle pass, and I'm actually just kind of enjoying it. So we're gonna have a whole lot of not Dauntless in about a week. That guy's dead. Too loud. Oh yeah, we're almost dead. Public Blaze Works is yikes. I was in one yesterday. I'm serious. It was fine. I fought some, like, super crow thing that was pretty cool the other day. They made it! Why can't I grab it? Neat. I don't need that. Oh, this is my guy. Don't follow me. Well, you can follow me, Meji. The rest should not follow me. I don't have Sunbreak. Solo Bootsy, it was just like I was like looking for a reason not to keep playing, and then I got into another hunt or whatever they call it in God Eater against the flying singing thing, and I was just like, I'm just so done. You feel me? Just like not good. I just don't. You know, the anime just kept coming. It's just like not a fun fight. I don't know what break we just got. I'm gonna go for the tail. Oh, tail's not showing yellow, and it's clearly still there. Oh no, no, never mind. The tip is gone. This guy just join and die? Monkey Gamer. That's a very Xbox name. Not in a negative way, just is. Think we're gonna get all the valves? I mean, I flipped one. I don't really know how it works. I know there are valves. Does it just take time? Like, does it speed up how often it happens? I'm gonna be real, our damage is looking real sus. Not looking good. My damage is okay. It would be better if I got hit less and built up my shields more. It's a power surged ice weapon against a fire enemy, so from a equipment standpoint, It would be better if you got good. Actually agree. See that ice? That's partially from me. Monkey Gamer. Monkey Gamer is out. Oops. That's what I get for trying to help Monkey Gamer. Well, gonna be real with you right now. It is not looking good. Well, it might be possible. It is really funny when its tail gets stuck on something and it starts tweaking out. The skeleton is actually stretched strikes. Just stretch it out. Well, we actually did it, so that's cool. What happens when your banked XP goes over the 3,500? I'm assuming that's the cap. You can't bank any more than that. What does that get you up to, like level 3 or level 4? Six? That's not bad, I guess. Ooh! I might actually have to prestige. If I'm going to get up to 3,500, it'll feel weird fighting above that cap. This guy is no problem compared to the other bug thing. people getting so annihilated? You missed the fire one. I mean, this is the Blaze Works, which I think just has all sorts of late game encounters. And if you're interested in why I'm using the dual blades and not other weapons, this thing right here, I'll show you. You see that? I pulled myself over to him. I really like that. I like the mobility that I get out of it. Oops. I just let myself get penised. They're actually dropping a lot of Aether Sparks. This area is actually pretty good for just getting Aether Sparks. Can we just fight this guy? Gamer. Your path through the woods, are you clearing a trail? I gotta be kind of careful without my shields. This is pretty bad. The slow is actually very noticeable. I wonder if the Monster Hunter team was influenced by the ice slow in this game. Probably not. But maybe, God, everybody just keeps dying. The problem is somebody goes down, and then somebody goes in to save the downed person, and then they go down. So it's just like this vicious cycle. Most of them don't run shields and ages? I mean, if you're dying, My whole thing is like run enough defensive stuff until you're just not like insta-carding all the time. You're not going to be helping anyone if you're dead on the ground. In fact, you're decidedly not helping because you're increasing the danger level. We got no team with players in 4 platforms? I would never go out of my way to look for a Switch player. Not being classist, I'm just being real. I mean, it would be a flex to play on the Switch with your maxed out character that you got from another platform and just do the trials and get up there, just as like a laugh. Should start doing trials for the trial marks. I'm probably getting pretty close to the point where I could do them. I think that is the tail fully broken. Yes, it is. I mean, if you were able to do it and survive, there's no shame there. Hey, where's the... Oh, there it is. 20,000 rams, almost. 19,000. 19,000. 2 patrol keys. A bounty token. 8 rare soul cores. 30 Aether Sparks. It's like a good area to do. I'm almost maxed out. I'm leaving. Unless a Spore guy shows up, I'm leaving. He's not there. I mean, it feels very satisfying to be at it. I mean, granted, once you've banked all of your experience, it's going to feel pretty bad just having the experience get thrown away. But if you're like level 18 or whatever, you may as well go to the Blazeworks. I can't imagine the extra like 2 or 3 levels would be that big of a difference. I don't know, maybe it would be.
Looking sharp. Where it...
A fine achievement. Peaceful. If that is all,
Oh, you're in. That's good. I don't really want to refresh. I really don't really want to refresh my level. Is there like group trials? How does that work? Guess we'll try it out. You're addicted to clicking rocks again? There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, I've got the money now. Woo, I've got money. Hell yeah. Addicted to stamina. Super Star, hello. Let's get that crit chance. And the stamina. That's a good place to be. No gamers. We just gonna die? I guess I could have used my fire chain blades, but I figured this is probably okay. Thick skull, though? Just, you know, don't count on staggering it ever. It's kind of a funny entrance. Yeah, I'm going for the tail break right now. It's actually not hitting that hard. I think they just both died, though. Bots in our game series suddenly disappeared. Would you name this game? Probably not. but I do enjoy playing it. I don't know if Dauntless has a big enough community where it could be like your only streaming game. Like at that point, I would just be like a variety streamer. Oh, we already broke the head. Gotta get the legs. He died. Well, we almost got it. If we didn't have the death. Whoa, what do you mean my rank is D? Excuse me? Why is it D? I not do enough damage? I got hit a lot. What does it matter if I got hit? That should have zero bearing. Yeah, I don't have any terror weapons. Maybe I'll make one.
What brings you
Maybe
to the
there's one I
smithy,
could make.
Slayer?
Is it even worth it? No.
Stay alive, Slayer.
Team rank is S and yours is D. That's a pretty strong hint. A hint that you're listed.
I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay off my list.
How's my day going? My neck still kind of hurts, but outside of that, it's okay. I played a really bad video game for a while, and that kind of sucked. Rank D sort of day, yeah. I think the only thing we could do, honestly, is just kill him quickly. I don't think anything else matters. And just not die. I changed my name? It's my Epic game name. Well, how are we supposed to clear it with a new objective? Oh, no Slayers down. I thought he does that 3 times. Maybe he only does it when he's in rage. Why does it keep... I'm getting very distracted. Come on. Hey, we got 2 part breaks. We're not going to get the rest, though, are we? Are we? Well. We killed it! Hey, now we're S+. I don't know why. I didn't die. Oh, I got hit a couple times. Ooh, D rank. Oh no, you got hit and didn't take any damage, and you immediately regen your shields. Oh no. Those times aren't even that fast. Compared to like what you could theoretically have in a group.
For the prize. Good fortune. Watch your mainstays. Sound off, Slayer.
I don't even know what I would use my trial tokens for. Alright, so the only thing we should worry about is just like not dying. Nothing else really matters. So my weapon power is 600. It is 550. It is power surged, but it's not the right element, so. Your friends should use a tank build if they can't survive with a risk build. That's a little toxic. Is there fishing in Dauntless? Apparently they're going to be adding sky fishing. I don't know if that was a meme or not. Beef and broccoli is a good food. What are you using for your beef? Beef flank? Sounds okay. How much are they paying me? They're literally not paying me. The only thing I've gotten paid recently is the referrals from Capcom for people that buy off of Nexus.gg. I don't even know if it's really worth destroying those things. It died. I guess we're gonna prestige. I don't see any reason why not to. We're gonna be... I don't see how I played any differently this time. Might have to do some fire escalations. Sexy Donuts low. Prestiging do for you? It does two major things. The first thing is there's an entire tree that's based off of prestiging.
Rascal just resubscribed
Thank
for
you,
35
Keysby.
months. C rank gamer.
I'll take C rank. So if you prestige the chain blades 10 times, you get a total of 10% stamina reduction. So that's cool. And then you get Aether Heart. I mean, I guess we could do ice, but I heard ice is like kind of hard. And an Aether Heart is used towards making making weapons and armor stronger. I've got a full bounty too, so I might be able to get up to like level 7. Berserker cells. What's Berserker cells? I mean, I've got good fire dual blades. Arguably better. When am I going to Italy? At the end of July?
How's that ship of yours?
Did I pass them? Oh, this. That's scary. That'd be good with a shield build, huh?
Good luck.
Interesting.
And I should know.
When are you going to Elgato? Same time everybody else is. Streaming the meme? We've had healing. Okay.
Big Coco Energy
Coco,
just
I don't
resubscribed
have
for
it.
25 months. It's okay, Chef. Just blink
Same
twice.
time as everyone
Blink
else.
once
I don't
and
have
you'll
it.
Die. Stand up. Turn around. Pull down your pants. And your undies smile. Do a little
Exposed.
shake,
Thank
and
you,
I'll
Coco.
save you from these devious Dauntless Seb's pet flower.
I mean, it's only because I got this. Where is it? I've got this. It's pretty sweet. Do I have galvanized? No. Slot in the Hellion charge blade, chain blades yet? I did. Everything else kind of sucks. Not gonna lie. Should be okay. But I get a house sitter for the couchers. Are you volunteering? I've got a friend that's going to take care of some stuff. Yeah. Want to power surge the legendary and bond weapon as well for full value?
My favorite Slayer.
Maybe the bond weapon. I don't think I have what it takes. So what, I'm going to power surge it for what? One more overpowered? Oh, 200 more damage? That actually might be worth it. For this, though, it's like, I don't... Unless we start farming him again, I don't know. Thought about being like every other streamer and playing the quarry? I tried to get a key for it. That didn't happen. Well, I'm going to be like level 7. Where's the baby ones? Don't worry, it's fine. I'm going to be dead on the ground. All right. A video, yeah, I've seen the work you've done for a while. I'm sorry I did not respond on the free camera. I'm so dead. I mean, the first thing I might survive. I might survive the first one. I don't know. I've got kind of a tanky build, so maybe I won't die. Nice outfit. I like the gimp mask. It really helps pull everything together. Yeah, I like the gimp mask. It's what is that? What was that floating thing?
Sky Slayer.
What?
You hunt where few of your kind ever have. The ice fields of Skaldskar, my home. You are welcome to slay the behemoths and
I like
gather
that.
the charge acre you find here.
I like the
Make sure you
shields
keep
one.
yourself warm. The frost, it bites. You have courage, but don't be a fool. Warm yourself against the frostbite near the safe areas before it's too...
Oh god. I'm doing like no damage.
The charged aether is spiking. It's been trapped in a lodestone, so you'll need to extract it with your lantern. You can see the power trapped within.
Professor_Funkenstein just resubscribed for 2
Professor
months.
Funkenstein, thank you. When does this go away? Are those fist weapons? It's a legendary ability? My dual blades are
Charged
powerful.
aether is certainly unpredictable. It can even provide surprising help when you least expect it. Protect yourself, Sky Slayer, and make use of the spheres. Your work here is done, Sky Slayer. Ride the aether winds to your next battle when you're ready.
This reminds me of... what is that game? Destiny? He just like fell on me. So far, the frostbite doesn't seem to be that big of a deal. Level up! Why are their numbers so big? Well, they're level 20. And I just reset my level, so I am level 7. So, it's a little bit of a... Gonna be a little bit of a difference. Why did I reset? Because I wasn't going to be gaining any more experience, and you get a valuable crafting resource as well as better stats over time if you reset it periodically. I'm also using like a multi-hit weapon, so like each individual hit is going to be a lot less. It's like prestiging. The ratings given after this. I don't think so. It's a lot of running in this level. I think the way damage works is a little bit like Dragon's Dogma, where your attack is compared directly to the monster's defense. So it starts scaling like crazy after a certain amount. But those ratings are like group ratings though, aren't they? I mean, the damage calculation's actually very simple in Dogma. It's just annoying. You're either overpowered or you're underpowered. It needs a rework. Wow, I just got completely annihilated. There's like a little nice middle area in Dragon's Dogma. Where like you're strong enough to deal damage, but you don't melt them. Is there a cart limit in this mode? So the way it works in Dauntless is you're generally given 3 self-revives. Outside of that, other people can revive you. Or sometimes even just in a normal hunt, you could revive after a timer. But the way this works is, once you go above a certain danger level, the monster runs away.
Take this boon. When you do great injury to your foes, your allies
We'll do a hot shot. I can actually maybe do damage. Because I'm running away like a coward. I mean, my dirty fix for Dragon's Dogma would be to make it so that you would set a certain minimum and a certain maximum amount of damage based on your gear score to every enemy in the game. Scaling based on, you know, with a mind towards how strong you get ultimately. But it shouldn't feel impossible to kill certain things, and it shouldn't feel like you're one-shotting everything at the high end either. You don't have your glider here. I'm dealing like 45 damage? Well, completely whiffed that. Any incentive for the level 20s to be partying with me? You get specific rewards for beating the escalation anyways. Also, they might be banking experience that they could use for later. I mean, at a certain point, your weapons will all be fully prestiged, and then you don't really need to worry about over-leveling it anymore anyways. Like, once you've done it 10 times, outside of getting the Aether Hearts, it's not really a big deal. I'm just going to take that one. Try and buff the other people on my team.
That makes Sky Slayers more powerful, but only if you inspire them with your prowess in battle.
The big thing in this area is it's double-fold. So one, I'm extremely underleveled, and two, I've never done a frost escalation before, so my escalation level is very low.
You are about to face a beast my people consider a living legend. The Urska has dwelled deep within the heart of Skadiskar's ice caverns for as long as we can
With some
remember.
very large
And
subtitles.
my most sacred duty as queen is to see its end. Unfortunately, it never seems to stay dead. Perhaps this will be its final fight.
Was expected. Normally that wouldn't happen. happened? Why did it just carry me around? Buggy hitbox? That was something. Probably the way I can help the most is just build up my chain blade and try and help get a stun. Oh, it was so close. Did he just drop an icicle on my head? That is how Anjanov feels, isn't it?
You have slain the
Hard,
won the gratitude of all scouts
hard carried.
and the profound respect of their queen. The charge Aether is yours.
Is he stuck in a rock? That's a lot of Aether. Oh, they've both got the Slayer's Pass. Oh my god. Somehow, we still almost got all S rank. Is that Iceheart Shard? Is that the epic from it? No way. I do not deserve that. No way. Wow. What a cheater. What a filthy lucker.
Time for a chat.
What news from the frontier?
Yeah. Yeah, we got 2 of them already. We're pretty far away from getting the rest. Yeah, these weapons are basically like the legendaries are essentially like the best in the game.
Come back soon, Slayer.
Hey there. I could think of a few things you could do. Listen, I need a few things. Watch your back out there.
Neat. Carried all the way to Fatalis gear? I was putting in work yesterday. Hey, we got our 75 platinum. Have I seen the shock escalation boss? No. I don't think so. Well, I mean... Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. No, like one or 2 more rounds, and like I'll actually be contributing. Do I like Conan? I mean, he's all right, I guess.
Well done, Slayer. We'll try to stay alive.
Oh, that's neat. Frozen armor's cool. I'll take that. When I'm going to work on the real end game that looked like a randomizer. I dyed my stuff? How dare you? This is me trying. So we got, what, almost 2 levels? In the process of doing that? That's not terrible.
You want to talk rare? Check this out. You're gonna slay him. Get it? Stalk you later.
Once you're like level 12, it should be much more manageable. I should probably switch my head. I don't know what to, though. A Dauntless streamer ever try Monster Hunter? Mohu?
There's a long and icy path laid before you, Skyslayer. But you are helping my home. So I will help you with what boons I can offer during your hunt.
She's got to stop.
Keep in
Can
touch.
I
These
gotta?
spears will offer you a little extra protection. Watch for them.
I might have to turn off the dialogues. Hey, I didn't die. Whoa! Suck down the floor girt. Feeling much better. I can almost take a hit without dying. We'll try unifying control. That's neat.
Protect yourself, Skyslayer, and make
There's
use
other
of the
stuff that
spears.
interacts with those shields. I don't know if it'll ever match the lantern hold ability, but it might. I'm so afraid. We're almost getting to like the real damage. Almost. Yeah, I don't think I'll be level 10 by the end of this, but it'll be probably be close. Bird's dead, man.
You can use all the protection you can get. Keep an eye out for the spears.
I almost ate it. This guy's cool. Oh god. Didn't realize he attacks when he lands. It was a strong hit, too. Let me out! It's not a lot of damage. Today I was able to redeem the Nexus key. I've heard, yeah, people are getting them. What? What? Whoa! No idea what the hell's going on. I have no idea what's going on.
And with victory burning in our hearts.
Gotta catch up on your Steam save. It should take you no more than 8 hours to at least get up through Narwa. It's not like anything else really matters. I will take the extra health, as dumb as that is.
You can use all the protection you can get. Keep an eye out for the spears.
Don't stop. No. Do all of your weapons start at level 10? You should start at level 1. Unless you've played before, in which case you might have leveled everything up to level 10. And then you prestige them back down to level 1. Unless you have banked experience, in which case you start at level 6. Like fully banked experience. I'm not doing it on purpose. I mean, I'm totally doing it on purpose. I survived a hit! That's amazing! Was I that close? We still got an S rank on that? Wow. I use the word we, like, very loosely, by the way. My goal is to land
Protect yourself
staggering
against
hits on the head
the spears.
and try not to die too much. I'm doing good. I mean, my current status is based entirely off of it basically being an infant. You think? Well, you know what? Thank you, I appreciate that. Normally, I'd be hitting for around 100 damage a hit. Closer to, like, my max level. Why am I getting so hot? That's not good. All right, we got a hit off. He's almost KO'd. Oh, I did it! I did the thing! Nice dodge. Well, I knew. I'm assuming they must all have something like that now, because Fire Guy has the same thing.
To slay a legend is no
Well?
feat, Skyslayer.
I got frozen once. Did I die on him at all? I don't think I did.
You will always be welcomed as a friend of the Skaldish.
Shock and Terror don't have one? I don't remember there being one on Shock. Hey. No epic this time. I would assume the Terra thing is easy because you just like shock everything to death and then they just die. Too positive, that means they did a good job. Excuse me, they? Why aren't you saying you all did a good job? I've almost gotten all these.
Please, stop by and see your friend.
Did the Dauntless team say sorry? They did, actually. Believe it or not. And I wouldn't blame you if you were in disbelief. But they actually did. That's scary. Increase frostbite. Maybe I'll take like 1 point here. Here, we'll reset it. I know I get plenty of frostbite protection with my team, but I don't want to have to rely on them.
Wills needs just a moment of your time.
Remember that one time I showed my guild card? I guess I probably gotta change that a little bit. How's it feel to have a Venena behind me?
A moment of your time, Slayer.
It feels
You're
okay.
for sore Ostian eyes. I await
The game itself is pretty fun for what it is. It seems like a fun game to come back to every time they add like a major content patch. Like, I don't know if I'd want to play it like every day of my life or even necessarily every week. Level 7, I'm level 8. I don't know how that happened. Soon we'll be doing big boy damage. I'm assuming he's got everything prestiged up to level 10 or higher. I just say they do a pretty good job with like the premium emotes and stuff are pretty nice.
This spoon will galvanize your allies when you deal 3
Hammer gives what? Percentage power? Seems pretty good actually. Imagine just having like an extra +5 power, plus 5% power. Hammer gives stagger damage? Not as important, but still like kind of nice. That almost looks like real damage. Literally save. And defense. I got that one. All right. Well, we're at enough level to do round 1 confidently. Let's see what round 2 gives us. That looks really good. The other thing was good too, but this looks fun.
Target my mark.
Maybe I'll actually deal damage. The developers actually do seem to do a pretty good job of communicating with their community. And that's pretty neat. Are we going for this guy instead? Need Frostgun legs for Iceborne. I know I'm missing still one more thing for it. We lost a bet, Pumpkin. But now we're just play it. The Dauntless team apologize. Can I face tank it? What was the bet? Early access to... we would get access to Sunbreak at the same time everyone else did. What do you think happened? How do you think that went for us? Is that me? I'm gonna take that one. This is dumb, but they can carry me.
But don't be a fool. Warm yourself against the frostbite near the safe areas before it's too late.
And then the entirety of Europe and Japan got early access to a demo. And to be fair, NA got nothing. That, just an apology was enough. They actually genuinely apologized. Like, it was a genuine apology. It probably helped that, like, I was streaming to, like, 400 people on the day that they were doing an AMA. And they saw me at the top of the list of, like, who the hell is this guy playing our video game? But they did apologize. I mean, you can't take that away from them. Oh, come on. I wasn't that close, was I? It's not worth having bad blood with anyone? To be fair, it was a pretty significant disrespect in the original incident. How'd they get to an apology? I told them the story, the PAX East 2019 story. And they said, we're sorry about that. It's the PAX East story? I don't need to tell it again. Because that's old news. I guarantee you there's dozens of clips on the channel that feature it. Oh, no. I'm gonna use it again. This is all because I'm taking 25% more damage.
Behemoth down. Not bad for a Sky Slayer.
We still got
Now,
S rank, even though I
gather your
died,
charge
like,
Aether.
every single
There's
time.
much more to do.
Oh, Force is nice, I guess. I mean, it's not as good as Team Goals, but it's better than nothing. After any Slayer is downed.
This behemoth is vulnerable. Hit my mark, Sky Slayer.
It's almost like, when I die, I can help my friends. I mean, was it the dwarves in Warcraft have, like, enormous books of grudges? The only thing that I can say, Darth Plagueis, is maybe somebody was having a bad day. That's the only thing I can imagine. I can't imagine there's anything else. I mean, I definitely had a bad day, but somebody else must have had a bad day. Most recent monster game may have been Generations Ultimate. I guess it technically was Generations Ultimate. In PAX East 2019, that would have been after GU, but before Iceborne. Warhammer does? What did I say? Warcraft? I meant Warhammer. I died. You, Mola. I'm ruining it for everyone. Why did I trip and fall on my face? That's helpful. Active Matsuno GameFAQs member? I don't think it was a GameFAQs person. The funny thing is all those GameFAQs people are now presumably grown adults. Probably Reddit mods.
ZMDL, gift of Fume Gamer and subscription.
ZMDL, thank you.
Tier 1 sent to Fume Gamer. They have given 29 gift subs in the channel.
I just feel like this is such a better game than God Eater 3. It's like just like night and day. I really wanted to like it. I really, really did. I'm like, man, I can make this work. And then I got into like my
You can use all the protection.
5th singing robot lady of the day, and I'm like, nah. Not again. I'm not doing this again. What game is singing robot lady from? Is she from 3 or is she from another one? And they just like added her back in. What's the worst Monster Hunter Colon you played? I mean, Hunter's Blade is probably the actual worst. Give me a list. And of those, I'll tell you which one is my least favorite to play. False Idols, new to 3. Man, they could have done anything in that game. And they added that thing? Not dead. Have I ever had raw tuna? Fairly regularly. Like, I don't eat sushi all the time, but when I do, I almost always get tuna. Is it good for you? I mean, the tuna's pretty good for you, outside of, like, the high heavy metal content. The rice, on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe not as much, but not enough to really worry about, I guess. I just got those Ice Heart shards again. Are those the good ones? You leave for a week and become a Dauntless believer? Woo! It was like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. You missed the stream. Well, thanks. What metal? Mercury is the one you gotta be the most concerned about. Yeah, you know. It's just like the little... The big fish eat little bottom feeder fish, and it's just like the metals accumulate in the big fish. That's how I understand it. I'm not going to claim to be some sort of like heavy metal sushi genius, but that's my understanding. I think I actually got all the rares. Was those 2 rares? Or epics? Not just... Oh, no, I did get the epics again. We got all the epics we needed. What I want to know is how do they get the mercury in the first place? Like, are the fish just attracted to mercury floating around in the ocean? That's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Does it make any sense to anyone? dissolved in the water. It's also strange, though, if you think about it. I got, like, way too many patrol crews. We're actually going to finish this. This seems likely that I'm going to finish my pass before... before sunbreak. That makes me feel okay. It's not bad. I mean, you've got to put in, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 solid days. How long does the pass usually last? 45 days? 60 days? Would I place Dauntless within a Monster Hunter tier list? I wouldn't really put Dauntless head-to-head like Monster Hunter like that. It's not necessarily fair to Dauntless, nor to Monster Hunter. Like, from a Monster Hunter fart sniffer perspective, or from like a public playing perspective. 75 days, that's a long time. Like, you're gonna find few, if any, people on this planet that would choose to play Monster Hunter DOS over Dauntless. If they, like, gave both games like a fair shot. They just wouldn't play it. They'd be like, this game's too hard. This game sucks, and they just stop playing it. Which should be reasonable. I mean, a reasonable thing to say. You know, of all the games ever, you know, World Iceborne's probably my favorite, but 4U is very close to being tied, as is 3U. GU, in the general sense, still is kind of like at the bottom of the list. The only where GU is good is because, like, there's just a lot to do. And I like having, like, stuff to do. But, you know, in Dauntless's credit, like, you got a lot to do in this game. Like, more so than any other individual Monster Hunter ever, other than, I guess, Frontier. Makes you want to play it? It's an okay game. Sea of Thieves? I mean, the difference is that in Dauntless, you actually get reasonably powerful very quickly. But the tail end of grinding stuff out, there's all these, like, little minor power upgrades you can get as you play over time. And that's pretty neat. I'm going to take squad goals. That guy looks like a Ninja Turtle. I actually need to kill him a lot, Albino. I need to kill a lot of those things. Maybe once I get closer to level 20. I'm like level 18. Immune to what? What is he immune to? I guess the nice part about Dauntless is because it's like it is one of those free-to-play quasi-live service games, you can assume that there'll be somewhat regular content available on a normal basis. Which is kind of nice feeling like you're playing something and you get to keep your progression for a while, like it means something. Yeah, I'm staying away from that. They can take care of that. You know, to a certain degree, Frontier would have been nice for that. Just Frontier was too greedy from when I played it. You know, the live retail version of it was really bad. This game's like, give it $10 and paid a little bit of attention. You never need to spend money again.
This boon will galvanize your allies when you deal grievous
I
harm
guess I'll
to
just
the
get
enemy.
Force. I don't really want that. I don't really use my Omni-Cell ability that often. And it does, like, Dauntless in particular, like, because, you know, one thing you'll say is, like, for sure, apparently East, they didn't have to pay a subscription to Frontier. So, there was always, like, a free-to-play version, but it only gave you access to, like, HR1 or whatever, which was basically nothing. You had to pay, there were different passes, there were different tiers of subscriptions. So, you had, like, the main subscription, which is what you would need to get through the majority of the content. You had the extra subscription, which gave you access to the item box in town. And then you had a whole bunch of like gacha / like luxury / like cheating mechanics that you could pay for as well. There was a moment right when the game was about to go offline when they made free to play, like for everything. But that was more so intended for like people that wanted to come back and enjoy the game, more so than like, hey, everybody's allowed to play now. Could have been a last-ditch effort to get people to get in and play the game so they could maybe buy gacha stuff. I don't know. I don't know what their intentions were. You could only speculate what they were. But it was definitely not subscription free. Level 10.
It's finished, Sky Slayer. The behemoth
I was spending
a mighty victory indeed.
like maybe like $100 a month when I was playing it between all the things. I mean, I also had to buy like a VPN on top of everything else. If you wanted to have like better performance. Not have like enemies teleporting around all over the place. I'll take Executioner. I mean, it ended because, you know, the subscriber count was dropping.
Your allies will grow
You know, my understanding is like, you know, towards the tail end, I mean, they had less than 10,000 active subscribers. Which is like not nothing, like whatever. I mean, that would be like a $100,000 a month or whatever, but in the grand scheme of like game sales and stuff, it wasn't enough. And now those people are clearly, you know, working with the main Monster Hunter team, developing more titles that can be sold at $60 or more. You know, it was lightning in a bottle. I mean, it was great that it existed when it did, and hopefully someday, you know, the projects will be completed to make it, you know, a game that would make sense to play either solo or with a lot of the stuff taken out of it that made it bad. Oh shoot, I pressed the wrong button. I mean, if anything, Espinos is like a very clear wink to, you know, the Frontier player base that they're thinking about bringing some of those fights back. Now, there's too many fights for them to bring everything back. But it's still a good sign for people that want to see those fights preserved in some way. Certainly the people from Frontier would have a reasonable idea on how to create an endgame as well. Blaze Island is just scuffed Hunter Roads. I mean, that's what we're doing now. We're doing the Frost escalation. He just murdered them. Do I have solar? thinking about getting it, though. Isaac, welcome back. Nice. What is this monster? He's some advanced Terra monster. Almost level 11? We should... I don't think we'll get level 11 by finishing this, but it'll be close.
I have a boon that makes Sky Slayers more powerful, but only if you inspire them with your prowess in battle.
If you cut off its tail, it regrows it. Can you just keep cutting it? It's underneath all that armor? My hunter's armor? My slayer's armor? It's a bearded man. You can actually, one neat thing they do is they do let you character edit as often as you want. I think that's pretty neat. It's Vine Wacky Waving Arms? I'd like to see that. What? Almost got the stagger there. Oh. Reminds me of Varioth? I mean, outside of being cat-like, they're not really... I wouldn't say they're very similar. What? Oh, that was amazing! Am I winning? I think we're gonna be okay. I mean, the name is very bear-like, huh? Urxa. Actually gives a good amount of combat merits. The only thing it doesn't really give a lot of is the money, the rams. Weekly sparks from the reward cache. Right here? Done. Everyone makes fun of my fashion, though. Maybe I should be spending on more fashion options. One free Aether Heart per week. I mean, it's like a prestige Aether Heart. Getting probably pretty high up there with Blaze. We did that a lot. Does this game have layered armor? Yep.
Welcome, welcome.
Everybody makes fun of my fashion, but I promise you it's actually layered. Getting pretty close. I still need probably twice as many for the frost hides, but the paw, the claw, the fang. That seems actually kind of useful.
Goodbye, and good fortune.
You farmed 120 claws? Are you at like max escalation or something? Maxed every escalation except the new one? Wow. I guess you probably still have other weapons you can make, though, right? I'm assuming even at max, you've probably only gotten the resources to make, like, what, 2 or 3 legendaries? Is there a reason you prefer the frost escalation to, say, like, Terra or Thunder? Poor little guy. He just died.
Behemoth down. Not bad for a Sky Slayer. Now, gather your charge, Aether. There's much more.
Really feeling like I can deal damage now. Even at level 11 or 10. Squad goals is so nice.
Here to help, Sky Slayer. I'll target their weak spots. You aim for my marks.
Did that hit anything? No. Jeez, why did it die so quickly? It barely even moved. God. Getting the interrupt is so nice. Oh, I healed somehow. Malfestio looks great. Dude, he got an anus. I'm gonna take the Pact of Swiftness. Escalation 3 usually is just one guide. Although it's Shroud. Oh, I don't know. Maybe that was a mistake.
You have courage, but don't be a
Don't
fool.
bully me if I die.
Warm yourself
I'm
against
probably
the
going to
frostbite
die.
near the safe areas before it's too late.
I should have paid attention before I selected that. It's gonna hurt me so badly. Ooh. I don't know. I think adding RNG to the endgame mode would be nice. All right, I cannot have literally 2 Malfestio jokes with 2 different monsters within the same 30 seconds. I see a bird, it's Malfestio! I see a bird, it's Malfestio! Okay. Sort it out between the two of you and figure out which one's Malfestio. I think Dauntless had the owl guy as a concept before Malfestio, to be honest.
You can use all the protection you can get.
The Umbral stuff is
Look
neat.
out for the spears.
I agree. I like it as well. Why does Malfestio send you the Hell Dimension? I mean, I much prefer Umbral effects than Malfestio's Confusion. I'll take that any day of the week. It sends you to Brazil. What's the current mood right now? come to Brazil or don't come to Brazil? Usually people say don't. You met Kuropeko. Okay, thank you. He's absolutely nothing. Well, he's a little bit like Kuropeko, actually. He can summon a clone version of himself. Not that Kuropeko creates clones, but he does bring other monsters into the arena. Should try Umbral hard escalation. If I was closer to like level 18 or something, I would. As I am just a baby, I'm gonna pass. Oh. Find the pattern for Skullforge? I did. I went to YouTube and I looked it up. I'm still working on the parts. Oh wait, he's still alive. I thought I killed him with that hit. That's so funny. Still got an S rank. That's nice. Even with the deaths.
I'll do what I can to help you deal with the frostbite. Take shelter in the areas of Worm Sky Slayer.
It looks pretty cool walking out like that. How's Dauntless? It's alright. You'll probably be very confused when you pick it up and wonder where the hell your progression is. But it's honestly like, you don't even really need guides and stuff like that. The game's pretty straightforward in terms of like getting you to do what you need to do. The Slayer's Path actually does like a good job of like being like, hey, maybe you should do these things. I mean, it really, you always feel like you've got something you're working on. If I had one micro complaint, and this is definitely a micro complaint, is there's a specific monster you want to hunt, a behemoth or whatever. It can be really annoying. Yeah, and my understanding is that they are adding it as a feature.
You have slain the Urska and won the gratitude of all Skaldastar and the profound respect of their queen. The charge Aether is yours, of course.
As it is now, the funny thing to do if you're looking for a solo monster is actually is literally to solo queue over and over until he shows up and then you're able to fight him. Hey, we got Wind Soul Shards? Loading times are a pain. I mean, loading times are definitely, I mean, they're there, but they're pretty tolerable. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a loading screen longer than 10 seconds. But I'm on PC and Series X, so those are both going to be pretty fast. The Scrave Epics. Nice.
Always good to see you, friend.
Almost halfway there.
We will speak again.
You're leaving Nefudis. Goodbye, Nefudis. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I've been streaming for a while. I didn't even notice how long I've been streaming. It's 5:30. Oh, Jen's not back, so I'm not going to worry about it. That'd be nice to do an island. There's that one... Where is it? We can keep going after the heroic Chirag if he's around. We should be able to do that. Do you have anything within range of that? Done hopping a bit. I'm not sure if I want it to be a Clown Fiesta Antar. Like, two man is probably, like, the closest you can... Well, I don't know. Maybe 3 man wouldn't be bad. I just worry it's going to be a Clown Fiesta. What am I using here? In fact, let's do it. Let's do it private even. We'll feel a little bit more. I'm just saying, like, when you've got, like, a ton of people running around it. I mean, Dauntless is definitely better about it than Monster Hunter is. It's actually a major weakness of Monster Hunter.
Hello there.
Like, there's literally zero tension. If you've got 4 people in a hunt, even 3 people in a hunt, it feels really bad. Dauntless is a little bit better about that. Achi, hello. How are you today? I think the loading screens are like a little bit scuffed with your lantern. I don't know what's going on there. You're no longer shadow banned? Were you listed at one point? Should you be listed again? Or do you have an alt? Are you confused? VPN caused you to get shadow banned? Interesting. Wait, no! I want to go... Actually, no, we'll just go for this thing. It's level 15, but like, we should be okay, right? Is it worth it to start Dauntless in 2022? The way the progression is made up, Sasaki Kojiro, like, you could beat quote-unquote beat the game in a day. Yeah, I mean, I'll unironically play Dauntless for sure. Have other people beat it for you? Excuse me. I'm fighting this battle on my own right now. I got him down to a quarter of a life on my own, and I would have beaten him too. How do I feel about the guns? A little boring. Actually, arguably better than the guns in World, outside of maybe like whatever's going on in Master Rank, and if you're not using sticky or slicing. They seem like an okay weapon to use if you want to turn your brain off a little bit. To get good damage out of them, you have to stay close. It's just Sunbreak Early Access. Yeah. Said World. That's a lot of experience. You killed Spore-struck Emberbane in the meantime? That's okay. Rice bread is fun and dangerous. I agree. Oh, I landed it! How's the Daunt going? I'm having fun today. We might end up triple prestiging chain blades tonight. It's within the realm of possibility. Which would be a good push in the right direction to use another weapon. What does that mean? It means you've maxed out the weapon, and it's time to reset it back to 1. I don't want to fight that thing. You can fight it if you want. I'm gonna fight this thing. Played some Ultra Kill today? I think I got that like in the Humble Bundle. The weapons are the prestige. The weapons are what you get experience in. I mean, Dauntless DNA Rebirth is very much a low-stakes, just chatting game. It's not quite Final Fantasy 14 levels of streamer retirement. But it's not too hard to play, like, good enough, you know? Right. You're a meat sack, and then you have experience with your weapons. That being said, there are moments where the game is very difficult. When you've got to do like an interrupt, it's kind of hard. Magnusilla, thank you. There's a lot of gift subs.
They have given 164 gift subs in the channel. Draftful just resubscribed.
Draftful, thank you. How much Mountain Dew have you stockpiled for Sunbreak Punch? I'm not much of a dew drinker. I mean, I might get some Rise. I was saying it earlier. I'm not sure if I finished the thought. I guess the thing that I like the most about Dauntless is just with the way it exists, you know they're going to keep developing it and adding things to it. And that's pretty neat. I already have Sunbreak. I do not have it. I do not have Sunbreak. Oh, he's here. He's arrived. All right. Focus has to be on the part breaks. I mean, the thing is like, Dauntless is close enough to Monster Hunter like that, like, I don't think it's going to make my normal audience completely vomit in their mouth. Maybe. Some of them will turn their nose up. Your drink could be sunset martinis. It's not a good idea for me to drink on stream. If I could actually ask for one thing in the game right now, Sprictor, it would just be for them to give us the option to show blood again. That's like the thing that I kind of want the most. Oops, you set me on fire. Which I think it's reasonable, because like it has already been in the game. You know the funnest part about Drachma is you don't have arrow limits. You think it was just like a, like kind of like an ESRB thing? What is this? Why is that doing that? Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. Like, if there was blood, it would add a little bit towards there being like a little bit more of an impact. Yesterday, there was a patrol chest here. I mean, I don't mind with chain blades not having as much hit stun because, like, you're swinging 15 times in like 3 seconds. So that doesn't bother me. You actually hit him while he's doing that. Guess we'll fight that other thing over there. This thing? I don't know what that is. It's got a scary face. How to feel about Stranger Things Season 4? If I were to rank it among the seasons? I would rank the seasons. No spoilers. Season 3, Season 4, Season 1, Season 2 in that order. But they're all pretty good. Season 2, even when it's bad, which is a reasonable number of it, is still good for Netflix. All the other seasons are still very good, though. Season 1 is 3rd? Maybe it's been a long time since I've seen it, but yeah, kind of. Season 1's pretty good. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it would be Season 3, Season 1, Season 4, Season 2. Season 2 is definitely the last. This is gonna suck that this is just, like, here. I don't got, like, it. 4 was a little messy for you? I don't know. Sounds like a personal problem. I don't know what to tell you. Season 1 and Season 3 are pretty close. Season 3 is just my favorite. I mean, you can't, like, change my mind on it. You try. This game pre-release, alphas and beta, how is it now? It's a fun game to play. I would recommend it. If you want to be in the No Gamers Guild, I would invite you. No gamers allowed, though. You know what I like about it? Is it's a free-to-play game that if you want to have, like, the real... something going on, you only got to spend like $10. And then as long as you stay on top of it, you never have to spend money again. Which is pretty refreshing for a free-to-play game. You felt like they were trying to tell multiple stories at once? Yeah, if there's a weakness of Season 4, it's this, maybe they kind of spread themselves a little thin. Not gonna really argue with you there. Gamers allowed? Actually required. If you are a gamer, you're automatically invited to the guild when you install the game. Well, Season 4 is getting 2 more episodes. In fact, Episode 4 is allegedly like almost 3 hours long or something like that. Who are we working on? You didn't know that? I mean, if it felt like, see, you're like watching Season 4, you're like, wow, what an awful ending. This season sucked ass. They barely resolved anything. That is because it's getting another two episodes, one of which is going to be very long. No spoilers. There's no spoilers there. Yeah, it's because literally it just wasn't finished. Now they have said, but like don't believe it for a second, that they are planning for Season 5 to be the last season. Whether or not that ends up happening or not, you never know. I'm sure they've got a lot to do. I mean, I would have canceled my Netflix subscription if it weren't for Stranger Things. In fact, I'll still probably cancel it after the final episode comes out. I'll spend that money on another subscription. Spooky thing? I'm thinking of actually dropping Netflix and just going, like, getting, like, full Hulu. Like, ad-free Hulu. I can't handle the ads. On PC, though, it's very interesting. Hulu does not play me ads. Do I like fried seaweed? I don't think I've ever had it fried. Dried seaweed? Or, like, deep-fried seaweed? What? There's a lot of anime on Hulu that has actual, like, good quality options. I've been very displeased with my Crunchyroll subscription. 4 is okay with that at best. I mean, that's, you know, you're okay not to like it. Nine episodes total, season 4. My understand, if we're at episode 7 now, yes, there should be 9 total episodes. But like I said, episode 9 is going to be like basically 2 to 3 episodes in one, so that's going to be long. Be a long episode. Get that through Spotify? Apparently you can get Disney Plus real cheap if you've got a Hulu membership. So that's interesting. It's kind of like a hellscape. It almost feels a little bit like the way cable used to. You want to know how they're going to wrap it all up? Well, you're just going to have to watch it, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. Anything notable on Hulu to watch? I mean, there's just like a ton of anime. I don't know. I'm a huge nerd. There's probably good stuff on there. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. Turn around? Oh! They should stop at 4? Well, I don't know what to tell you other than they're not stopping at 4. They're going to season 5. At least. Was it the Duffer Brothers? I could see the Duffer Brothers also saying, though, like, we want to work on something else. We don't get good streaming in Canada? You know, I haven't even bothered messing around with my VPN settings in streaming. I probably should. I mean, Game Pass already, like, regularly gives you options to, like, get cheap subscription services. I think the kids are growing up. It's weird. It is definitely super weird in Season 4 that the kids are supposed to be, like, freshmen in high school, but they are, like, grown-ass adults. This is very odd. Hard to get more than 3 breaks on him, isn't it? Like, Will? Will is not a child. Will is... That is a man. that is a man that they're putting in children's clothing. And, like, I don't fault them for it because, like, the kid's probably got a contract, or the grown adult actor that plays Will. He's probably got a contract that guarantees him, like, you know, a spot in the show for a certain amount of time. But they could have been like, you're all in college now. And that would have been very believable. That would have been fine. Because it does put you out of the show a little bit. And the kid who's like a freshman in high school looks like he's like older than his dad. This is actually Dauntless. It is. He's not that old? Just okay, he may not be old, but you know what? He looks old. Born in 2004? What is that, 18? Help me out here. How old is that? Who else looks old? Yeah, I'm not gonna kill him. I'm gonna run past him. Kind of like me, streamer? I was also born in 2004, and I look old. I know. I get it. I look old for my age. He's an adult man who didn't belong there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Cut Will some slack? I'm not. Look, it's not like he's got a beard or anything. All right, here's the issue. Is the guy that plays Will, and I hate to say this because it's like it's a terrible thing for me to say, clearly goes to the gym. Like, he's got some muscle on him. And I'm not saying he's not allowed to go to the gym, but you know, maybe cut it out a little bit before they start filming. Sometimes it's good to look older. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not. I'm really not. All I'm saying is Christian Bale has put on weight and he's taken off weight. He's done all these things for his roles. What's the point of gains if your job won't let you keep them? You just stop working out for 2 months and you go back kind of like to normal. But the kid, he looks like he could bench 250. And he's supposed to be like kind of weak or whatever, but he's like jacked. I gotta find a picture of him. I gotta show it on screen. Nobody knows what the hell we're talking about. CJ, his body, do something. Where is he? Where is he? I found a good picture. If it'll let me open it. This kid right here. Like, he definitely does dumbbell lateral raises. Like, those are some buff shoulders. He's got, like, some pecs, too. And, like, they're trying to help with his haircut. Like, I get it. Like, they're doing what they can. He can't help his face. I am not blaming his face. He can't do anything about that. I'm just saying, you play a freshman in high school. Just take it easy on the weights. That's all. Stop taking in so much protein. Was that me as a kid? Dude, I wish that was me now. He's freaking jacked, man. They keep him in that haircut because they think it makes him look younger. Oh. Yeah, we got to get Shara, yeah. But it's not doing enough. You didn't want the monsters? Dude, he could knock them out, man. He could fight. I mean, he should. All right, if there's one disappointing thing, he needs to be out there. He needs to be like Steve Harrington with like a sledgehammer or something. What am I going to be doing leading up to Sunbreak? Well, right now we're playing Dauntless. I gotta play Monster Hunter on Sunday. Because I have a bounty I need to do. And I can't be goofing around in this. If you have any suggestions, I'm open to it. What happened to the sister? She's still around. Capcom bounty? It's literally a 1 minute long Netflix bounty. Or Amazon bounty. There's nothing worth getting excited over. Wait, they only called you in for an hour of work, Kaiser? Those dicks. They should have been on that and said, like, don't come in. Can a Chirag spawn on that? I think it can. All monsters using all gore, armor, and weapons. So I can only play for you and Genu? Pretty excited about for you. Here's my favorite character in Stranger Things 4. Steve is my favorite character in Stranger Things. I think he's everybody's favorite character. That's like the very basic opinion, and I'm okay with that. We didn't know we'd be sent home early? I'm just saying if the work doesn't tell you not to come in, they should pay you for at least four hours. That's all I'm going to say. Steve has had a very good character growth. Steve is like, I was trying to tell Albino Donkey this. He's like the one character in Western media that like has gone through like anime arcs. Yeah, Steve and Dustin easily the best. Honestly, you raise a good point that Dustin might actually be better than Steve. It's very close. Poisoned. This sucks. I'm dying. Next time, we're literally getting footage for Dauntless right now. I actually have all the footage I need. I don't need to be playing this. That's what I said about Nat. I was wrong. When are you ever gonna play Dauntless? That's a good question. I'm not saying like now's the time to get into it, but why not? No? Are you like a PC gamer now? I heard you have it. Somebody said they saw you online. If you did, like, what do you got for a computer? Like, what did you get? I'm curious. I mostly care about your GPU, but I care a little bit about your CPU. Am I poisoned again? You clearly I am. You don't like 11? She's meant to be a difficult character to completely love, but that's, you know, it's part of her character. 3060 Ti? That's basically a 3070. Certainly enough for most anything you'd want to do. got like half a year ago. Is it? Are you on a laptop or are you on like an actual desktop? That's good. For one brief moment, I tried laptop gaming and I immediately realized what a mistake I had made. Oh no! I'm dying! Can a laptop handle a current gen GPU? It's, you know what it is if you have like a really long HDMI cable and you're able to run your laptop in another room and just like carry like a 10-foot long HDMI cable from your laptop to like your desktop and setup and stuff like that, it's probably okay. They have not figured out how to cool laptops yet. Although I saw Linus today attached like an aftermarket cooler to his Steam Deck. And he said outside of like nearly scalding yourself unless you attach a fan to it, it actually worked out really well. My Teppen technique? Frozen vegetables. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to order the Steam Deck. I mean, I already have the pre-order placed. I just don't know what I would do with it. I can't really stream with it. I guess I could play video games on it. Play Slay the Spire while I poop. It's a big issue. I have a lot of saves of Slay the Spire going on. I got very scared. You do Naked Monster Train? I could already do that, though. With, like, Steam streaming. While I'm naked and pooping? No, I still can. I mean, I haven't. People say it's comfortable, and I believe them. Why did this thing just die? So yeah, what Linus did is he dremeled out the back plastic where like the CPU and stuff is, and they like die cut like a block of aluminum. And that almost worked, but it got really hot. And then they attached a radiator to it, and then they attached a fan to the radiator, and it dropped the temperature significantly. It was a knock to a fan, though, so it was, like, quiet. But it makes you think, like, why, like, laptop manufacturers don't just, like, let you attach, like, a block of aluminum to your laptop to cool it. It did not look great. Like, it looked... Like, before they started making modifications, it was literally like a a third-degree burn concern. Because it was getting up to, like, 80 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but I bet it's hot. About the MSI Titan? The laptop? Don't get a gaming laptop. How many times do I gotta tell you this? Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius? I know that. When does flesh boil? Melts at 130? All right, when do you get a burn? $176 degrees Fahrenheit. That sounds scary. No, I mean, my take... All right, here's the thing. They make these monitors now that are, like, so portable. I'll show it to you right now. Here's a monitor. It's got you guys on it. That's a really tiny one, but they sell ones that are, like, reasonable size. Unless you have a compelling reason to be moving constantly. Just get, like, a mini PC. The heating will be way better. The performance will be way better. It's really just as portable. You just need to set up your monitors. It's way cheaper. It is way more upgradable. I mean, it's so many things. What I do with the laptop, I returned it. I mean, it was overheating. It was overheating, and the network card was getting too hot, and then it was dropping inputs. I look great? Thank you, I feel terrible. That's a normal laptop? I mean, for productivity, like, laptops are nice, but then you could just get, like, a tablet, which is like a laptop, but, like, cheaper and then, like, much more fun to use. Oh, I'm so good at this video game. Did you see that? Tablets have half the lifespan in my experience. I am still using a iPad Air. God, I'm so good at this video game. I don't want anyone ever criticizing me ever again. I have like an iPad Air that's like 10 years old, but I still read manga on. Because I have a manga app that I downloaded, and I can't re-download it through the Apple Store. But it works great for reading my manga. Nobody ask any other questions. I will not be answering questions. Good interrupts, thank you. It is not a hentai app reader. It's manga. I got an iPad Pro that I really enjoy for doing like basic productivity things, but it's not fun to read on. It's like kind of heavy. Like it advertises itself as something you could hold in your hand and read on, but I think having something that's like actually really thin and light is better. I'm gonna go for it. Woo. I should really be using that ability more often. 128. So if I've got one regret, Dwarven Man, is that one iPad I have only has like 32 gigs, which is fine for some manga, but can't really download much on there. You work with computers and made an order from a facility for computer case that is 25 by 25 by 35 to build full-size desktops in? What? I don't know if I understand that comment. That sounds large. Is that large? You got a Kindle Fire 7 or 8 that gets 12 minutes of battery life and takes 4 hours to charge. Honestly, like, well, you probably spent $100 on that Kindle, so I wouldn't cry too much about it. But unless, like, you totally hate the Apple ecosystem, like, the iPad is really pretty nice. Dwarven Man, what the hell, bro? 2 years on D-Day?
24 months.
It's technically the second day we've played Dauntless on stream. How close are we to the island event? I feel like we're pretty close to another one. Think we have the same iPad? Well, I know we don't, because yours is 128 and mine is 32. It's an iPad Air. It might be an iPad Air 2. It barely ran Teppen. Is it every 10 minutes? I thought it was, oh my god, I thought it was how many behemoths you killed. Game looks dry? This monster looks incredibly moist. It's like, imagine if you made a game about the Guiding Lands. Dauntless feels a little bit like you're always in the Guiding Lands, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But if you love grinding, honestly, 100% legitimately, this is the game for you. Because you're grinding. You're filling up meters all the time. Does Dauntless have any cute guys? I don't know how cute the guys get. I'm a kind of a hairy guy. I actually got better luck just doing a private match and reloading over and over again. I don't know if this game could replace RuneScape for you, but it might be a fun game to play while you also play RuneScape. Are there any other live action shows you're watching? So before Stranger Things came out, I was watching Julia, the HBO show about Julia Child. It had okay moments, but it was mostly mid. After that, I watched The Staircase about Michael Peterson, who was accused of murdering his wife. Also on HBO, and that one was, I would say that was really good. I like that. I would recommend that. Wouldn't really recommend Julia. I just didn't like the way their inclusion and presentation of LGBT felt very patronizing. It felt like somebody was forced to include them, so it gave them the worst possible character development, responsibilities, etc. Shepgate? I don't know. I'm sure there's zero backlash over it, but I'm just saying, like, I guess good on them for including them, but I don't know. I just don't think they were presented very well. Forced? I mean, all right, I mean, the reality is, you can't like ignore the reality. Reality is Julia Child allegedly, like most, you know, middle-aged white women from the 50s, didn't really understand LGBT causes particularly well. This is part of her known character. But amazingly, later on in life, during the AIDS epidemic, actually ended up having a friend who got AIDS and became a great ally. You know, she had some character growth. And if that was in the show, that would be interesting and a really good storyline for them to present. Because it was her real life, you know, and real life is usually more interesting than just whatever you come up with on a script anyways. Instead, you've got Julia Child, who ends up not even really befriending, just like running into people that are struggling being gay in the 50s. And for the most part, ends up being sympathetic, but mostly in a sucks to be you sort of way. You know? She doesn't offer any meaningful help or advice other than, I'm Julia Child. Oh, you're gay? Sucks to be you. And then the characters then almost never have any, like, a second episode, let alone anything to do about, like, any real resolution with the struggles that they had. It's just bizarre, man. It'd be one thing if they were, like, rewriting her character entirely and she ends up, like, it's like whatever, just, like, fiction, and she does a lot to really help them and do stuff like that. Instead, they just write characters and feel like they're just including them. Just to be like, yeah, we included, you know, characters like that. She says things that real people don't say? I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, based on what I've read from her Wikipedia article, which could be wrong, you know, I don't think she would be, like, going on stage and dancing with drag queens, like, immediately without, like, any character resolution, because that just wasn't her character. Later on, she would have, because she changed her mind, you know, but they never gave her that arc, you know, that never happened, and that only happened because she had a close friend who ended up getting AIDS. You know, on the other hand, take, you know, The Staircase with Michael Peterson, who, you know, is publicly, at least now, out as being bisexual, and they actually show, you know, him in, you know, gay encounters, and it's like, okay. And it's handled in a very interesting way. I mean, his sexuality is a, you know, reoccurring topic that is brought up in the show over and over again. Him, of course, being in a straight relationship with his wife. Oop. But then she dies, and then it's brought up in the trial and stuff like that. So I'd recommend The Staircase. Julia Child, I mean, there's parts about it that I like. I mean, I like the idea of, like, early broadcasting. I like the idea of early broadcasting, especially, like, being a woman in early broadcasting surrounded by, like, all these guys that feel like they know what they're doing. And you clearly got, like, a better idea. That aspect of it is okay. Like, I'll watch the season 2. I'll just be annoyed. I'll just be annoyed by aspects of it, you know? Oh, we got 2! We got 2! Oh, I'm so happy. It took so long. I still need 2 more. think that's it for breaks. I think he's just gonna die. This Monster Hunter is different? Oh, it's sure different. Oh, is it a different Monster Hunter? Netflix never had any shows. The other show's pretty sick. You got 4? We'll wait and see what else comes back. Otherwise, I'm going to go back. Netflix, I mean, I actually kind of enjoy the original Netflix anime that are on there. Was it Agent or Akagen? Agent I actually liked. It's got a really weird art style, but the story's pretty neat. They had a booby anime that I watched, and it was okay. Great Pretender was good. They actually had 2 booby animes. They had, like, the death game one, and then they had, like, the gambling one. They're both, like, 100% booby animes, but they were good for what they were. Oh, we're totally finishing this battle pass. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more going on in Agent in the comic, in the manga.
A moment of your time. You'll definitely.
You like the Cowboy Bebop live action show? It was good? I think you might be in in short company there. But hey, I mean, you know what? I'm not out here to yuck your yum. Was it good? Everybody said it was terrible. It's like, don't cry for the anime, the manga that didn't get adapted. Smile for the anime that, or the manga that did, right?
Greetings. Take care, Slayer.
That's my opinion.
Many new items of interest. What can you do for me?
Should I unlock this final cell? I feel like I should. Will I still have enough? I should have enough. People wanted White Knight it, not give it an actual chance. Like, people were like, if it's not the anime, like, I'll never watch it. I think I would. I think I would still have enough platinum. I just don't know how necessary it's going to be to have, like, 3 cells going. Because, like, I've got so much of that dust. Live-action anime seems hard to do, right? I've seen some live-action adaptations of Death Note that were okay. Can you fight the hot wolf bat thing? I just did. How long have I been streaming for? 7 hours? I think it's time for me to get dinner. Live Death Note liker? I didn't watch the Netflix adaptation, but I've seen some of the movies, and they were okay. Like, they were fine. All right, I'm gonna leave. Everyone, have a good day. Have a good night. Cowboy was good. I believe you. Oh! Okay, hold on. Almost small change of plans. We're going to do our bounty right now. Because I just got a bounty for another The Boys episode. All right, hold on. Don't leave. Don't leave too quickly. Hold on. Can I still do it? Hold on. Don't leave. Don't leave. Where is it? Can I do it? How many people are still in chat? We should be able to do it. All right, hold on. Don't leave. All right. Amazon Prime. They will show you that and a man exploding another man's pee-pee. So, if that's your fandom, it's there. Jen, did you hear that? Are you laughing? Did I hear you laugh? Am I hungry? Are you serving exploded man pee-pee? All right, I'm activating. I'm getting the bounty for the boys. We're not watching it tonight, but we will watch it later. Will I watch Party of the Lord of the Rings series? Probably not. All right, I'm leaving. Have a good night. I love you. Goodbye. No, I'm hungry. I'm leaving. Hungry and tired. My neck hurts.